Be ready. 10 seconds to go. Start. It is a matter of great gratification to me that we have arrived at the third reading stage of this bill, and I have every hope that this House will finalize it in the course of the next few hours. I approve of this bill. It represents not merely what is incorporated in it, but something more. I think it is highly important in the context of our national development. We talk about our 5-year plans about economic progress, industrialization, political freedom, and all that. They are all highly important. But I have no doubt in my mind that the real progress of the country means progress not only on the political plan, not only on the economic plane, but also on the social plane. They have to be integrated, all these, when a great nation goes forward. I welcome this particular measure because I think it is of the highest importance that we should take up the social challenge. On a previous occasion, speaking, I think not on this bill, but on a similar measure, the special marriage bill, I ventured to say something about my reading. I speak, of course, before experts with fear, but I venture to say what my conception of Hindu law is. Hindu law had never been rigid. It had a certain dynamic element in it. Indeed, that was its strength. It was not a law of the statute book which could be changed at will. It encouraged many kinds of customs to grow up. When they grew up, it acknowledged them. In fact, even today in India, there are so many varieties of Hindu law in the south, in the north, in the east, that it is very difficult to say that this is the one and the only Hindu law. There is variety all over. Then again, everyone knows that a great majority of Hindus, apart from the few topmost castes, are governed by all kinds of customs. Would anyone here venture to say that they are not Hindus and drive them out of the Hindu fold? Surely not. Therefore, the essential quality of Hindu law in the old times was this dynamic quality. It did not change by decree or statute, but by allowing changes to creep in. This is why formal amendments were made in the Hindu law from time to time in this great country. Now, I venture to ask, can any law, whether it is social or economic, be applicable with equal force when society has changed completely? Let us take the India of 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. The population of India in those days was 1/100th of what it is today, and India was a community of a large number of villages and some small towns. Modern conditions are entirely different. In the cities of Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras, industries are growing and new social relationships are being established. Can anyone say that while all these changes are taking place in our social setup, certain things must remain unchanged? This bill has been discussed here for a few days, but behind it lie years and years of investigation. First, there was committee which functioned for a number of years. Here in this parliament, this matter has come up for the last 3.5 years. Even before this parliament came into being, bills had repeatedly been moved. No subject, I take it, has been so much before the public and discussed so much as this particular subject of the reform of the Hindu law in regard to personal relationships. It was right that there should have been so much opportunity given for public consideration because it is an important measure. This morning, a fact came to my notice that in the small state of Saurashtra, one of our smallest states, one of our socially advanced states, if I may say so, there is on an average one suicide a day among the women because of maladjustments in human relationships. The figure was over 300 in a year. You can calculate the proportion it works out to in that state. These are authentic figures which the chief minister of that state gave me. This shows the maladjustment and the difficulties that the women have to face. I have no doubt that similar statistics may be collected from other parts of India. I had the privilege of listening to the speech of the honorable member opposite. The more I listened to it, the more confused and surprised I got. He dealt at great length with what a sacrament is. What does it mean? A Sacrament, I take it, is some ceremony which has a religious significance. A Hindu marriage is a religious ceremony, undoubtedly. But does it mean that it is a sacrament to tie up people who bite, who hate each other, who make life hell for each other? Is that a sacrament or a samskara? I don't understand. This has to be considered afresh. Stop